Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of CoinNewsExtra interview session. Is a program where we invite innovators, blockchain innovators, people innovators in the fintech space who come air their point and also matters arising in the ecosystem. So today I have a great innovator, someone that has been playing an amazing role in this ecosystem. I have with me Linda Goetze. She is the co-founder of DFM Data. Linda, you're welcome to CoinNewsExtra.
Hey, Lee. No, it's a pleasure, absolutely, to be with you today, and thank you for the opportunity. It's been fun to get to know you and what you're working to do with CoinExtra to bring education and support the facilitation and adoption of blockchain technology. I really appreciate what you're doing.
It's a pleasure to have you and the amazing work that you are doing in the ecosystem. So, how is the Atlanta today? How is the weather over there?
It's a little chilly, but it is beautiful, and just very thankful for sunshine and for a semblance of peace.
That's nice. It's warm over here in Nigeria. We entered the
I'll be
dry
jealous.
season. We just entered dry season. So we'll be looking at enhancing global commerce through blockchain. So we're seeing how things are going and the ecosystem, most especially with the pandemic, how things are happening. So we want to see how a blockchain could play a role in this sector. So before we go to that particular topic, could you just give us a brief about yourself and your background?
Yeah, absolutely. Just very short shot. I'm an educator and a connector. And after teaching for over 13 years, I had the opportunity during that time frame to purchase Bitcoin in 2012. And through that, obviously, I started watching the marketplace, seeing the growth, the different blockchain technologies that were created, and obviously the whole splost of tokens that came on the market, especially in 2017. It was during that 2017, 2018 hype cycle timeframe that I connected with the Blockchain Chamber of Commerce. And I hadn't realized that I was such an early adopter until I had an entire room of people there in Atlanta, Georgia, that when they were asked, how long they had owned crypto, most of them raised their hand for 1 month, and then for maybe 2 months, 3 months, and then hands started going down. And at 5 years, I was the only one with my hands still up. At 3 years, actually, I was the only one with my hands still up. So it was a little bit of an awakening realization for me that I had an experience base that most people didn't. And the core team there at the chamber approached me, and I ended up starting participating with them, went from being CIO to president and CEO, and just a wonderful opportunity to fulfill the social mandate of the chamber, which is raising awareness, facilitating adoption, and inspiring advocacy. And that's for commerce, like you said, that's what you're focused on, and consumers and people who are building careers in and around blockchain. So the education side that you're addressing as well, very much in alignment with what we were doing at the chamber. And one very specific focal point that I have really taken a deep dive into in the last several months is in the supply chain vertical. And so I've had the opportunity to work with DFM Data Corp. I'm a co-founder and the executive VP, working to really take the technology coupled with the patent that the CEO of DFM Data Corp owns, to really bring a marketplace together that doesn't even realize that dynamic freight matching is a new way of doing commerce that is a brand new expression that reduces carbon emissions, that creates efficiencies, that it's the value add of what blockchain can bring in digital dynamic freight matching that I'm really excited to be participating in facilitating right now. So that's where I am, and a little bit of background. I hope that met as a proper answer to your question.
Yes, that's a very nice one. Seeing you, John, you're an early adopter of Bitcoin and blockchain because 2012 is quite early. So, and another thing in this ecosystem is like some people that will be joining this year may feel they are late, they are also early. So we joined quite early.
Yeah, no, they're not late, and I envision it the difference between, you know, people saying I missed the boat, and you might have missed the little dinghy that was leaving to go to the big, you know, ocean liner that's out in the bay, but that boat has not left the dock. It really it's still early adoption days because a lot of people have heard about Bitcoin, right? A lot of people have heard about blockchain, about cryptocurrencies, but how many people actually own a wallet and are engaging with commerce using cryptocurrencies that are seeing this technology as something that can help make their business better? There's been a lot of talk, there's been a lot of exploration, but the action, the actual mass adoption hasn't fully happened. It's right on the cusp, but I would say you haven't missed the boat. There is so much opportunity still. And, you know, we, with Bitcoin specifically, I'm sure everyone's seeing that we just reached the all-time highs, and then there was profit taking, it went down, and now it's, you know, on its way back up. And if you look at history, you can have a very positive expectation for what will happen with the Bitcoin price going forward. And unfortunately, we have an impactful time frame where there's countries going into recession. There is monetary policy that is proving to not be effective. There's mass printing of currency in multiple countries. And all of that points to, do we have real value that can be transferred in alternative ways? And I think there's an answer in what is already on the table with Bitcoin and some of the other cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, but talking about the printing of money, I saw that a lot of it during this pandemic, and that brings us to this question that I want to ask: with the pandemic, what are ways blockchain and other emerging tech can enhance this sector? So, talking about the commerce.
Absolutely. The user holder verifier, the issuer holder verifier problem is one that blockchain is uniquely positioned to solve. And there's emerging technologies combined with blockchain that are able to create contactless commerce. You know, validation of identities, that's being done through blockchain. You know, one of my favorite people in the world is Charlie Northrup, and he saw the genesis of the internet and realized it would be commercialized, wrote 10 patents around that. But he's worked the past 12, 13 years to give us a platform that enables digital agency. And in that platform, blockchain is just a thing, but there's AI that can actually act upon anything and use it to create automated flows in business, to manage your personal data, your personal communications with your peers through business, through personal life. There's just so many opportunities right now, and there's a lot that can be done better and differently using blockchain technology. But you have to recognize that the blockchain technology isn't the be all end all of this digital transformation timeframe. It's kind of the glue. It's the connective fabric that's going to allow for the IoT devices and their data to be integrated and connected, and you know, be utilized by AI. And so there's this universal framework of things that is just beginning to be really conceptualized and backed up by real technology. And so I'm very excited about what we can see coming out of this time frame where technology literally leapfrogs us, potentially even through the fourth, fifth, and sixth industrial revolutions into the seventh, because it's going to be transformational beyond anything that we have seen previously. I'm optimistic, but I think we're going to have some really tough times, because whenever anything of value is built, there are things that are broken down. So you build a house, you have to chop down the tree, you have to dig out the ore, you have to melt. You know, there's these pain points that happen along the way, and we have to be prepared for those, not shocked by them, prepared for them. And I think the cryptocurrencies and the diversification of assets, all of that will be helpful along the way of transformation. I can't hear you.
There are a lot of talks. I don't want to go there about AI and blockchain. There have been a lot of debates around that. But that's a topic for another day. There is something I saw on your profile. You wrote personal experience. I read that you wrote personal experience with Bitcoin and blockchain since 2012. You know, you made mention about your experience in 2012. So lens perspective as I help individuals and businesses enter the crypto age with confidence, caution. What's your personal experience like? You made mention briefly about it. So what was it like?
Yeah, a confident caution. It's a very well earned statement, because goodness, I don't even know where to begin or if we have time, but buying Bitcoin back in 2012 was not the push button easy experience it is today. Definitely uncomfortable dealing with a technology that not only had I barely learned about, but no one in my sphere of influence was aware of. And then I had my nephew who actually purchased some Bitcoin because I had talked to him about it. And he had his on Mount Gox, and everyone knows the story of Mount Gox. I mean, he lost it. And, so there's confidence in this is a technology that has long-term positive implications. This is something that, because it's a limited supply and potentially limitless demand, will grow in relative value over time. But there's ups and downs. There's definitely peaks and valleys. There've been multiple hype cycles since 2012. And I can't tell you how many people like, oh, I wish I had bought back when it was under $100. And like, well, you could say that, oh, I wish I had bought when it was under 10,000 now, right? And that was barely 2 months ago. So it really is this cyclical progression that mass adoption takes, and we're not to mass adoption, anywhere near mass adoption yet. So there's so much opportunity, but you do have to be cautious. But I'm confident that there is this potential of growth over time that has been demonstrated since I connected with the industry in 2012. So that's there's a lot of details to the story, but I don't think we have time for that today.
Yes, I know there are a lot of details. Now, so let me get this from what you wrote also. A blockchain enabled universal framework of team will reshape global commerce and community, growing with the opportunity rather than being made irrelevant by it is vital. How do you think we can achieve that?
Yeah, we definitely don't want to be made irrelevant by technology. And I think having digital agency is what will enable that. And so the way the web is currently structured, we provision ourselves into other people's spaces, right? We have a username and password that puts us into somebody else's digital world, where we click yes on cookies, we click yes on terms and conditions, and next thing you know, your digital footprint belongs to somebody else. And we will maintain our relevance and actually grow in our relevance and our ability to monetize our personal data by having a digital agent that can act on our behalf in the digital world and manage our data in such a way that we can be rewarded for it, we can learn from it, we can collaborate with others with it. And it's done for our best interests, not for the best interests of any specific entity or even country. It humanizes technology to allow us to have digital agency. And so that's a progression that I believe in the next 2 to 3 years, we will be seeing the hands-on interface that we as humans can have digital agency. So that's not executed fully by any platform yet, but I do strongly believe it's coming, and the technology exists to execute on it.
Thank you very much. It's been an amazing time out with you, Linda. Thank you for joining us today on CoinNewsExtra interview session.
Absolutely my pleasure, Lee. Thank you.
Thank you.